Welcome to Skin Deep, a sacred space where we peel back the layers, speak the unspeakable, and remember who we were before the world told us who to be. I'm your host, Kiara Charles, and this is Season 2, A Deeper Dive. What happens when you've been holding everyone else for so long, you forget to hold on to you? This episode is for the firstborn daughter, the keeper, the peacemaker, the one who never got to be little. My younger sibling and I are 8 years apart. So oftentimes I was praised and sometimes even reprimanded for unconsciously taking over the role of his second mom. The abandonment wound made me grow up fast. After what happened to me as a child, protection became my survival skill. The predator who violated me told me that if I didn't take it, that my brother would have to pay the price. So I learned early that love meant shielding others, even if it was at my own expense. Being the oldest daughter gave me dominant traits of independence and responsibility. And as I got older, these traits shaped every hat I wore in school, at work, in friends groups, and even later on in leadership. I was the one that people could depend on. I didn't just seek responsibility, I sought validation through it. From my very first job to the expansion into my healing work, I've always been a people leader. But the shadow of that side is heavy. On the outside, you look perfect, capable, composed, reliable, but perfection is just another prison. Because abandonment teaches you that if you ever stop performing, then people will leave. So every chance I got, I tried to be the perfect person for everyone. When no one stayed for me, I started staying for everyone else. But later I realized that by doing that, I was abandoning myself. I wasn't creating the soul level connections that my heart had longed for. And I was running further from my own truth, the truth of who I really am and what I came here to do. And that's how the abandonment womb shape shifted for me. I went from being abandoned by everyone else to being the one to push everyone else forward. The abandonment wound and the first daughter syndrome, coupled together, is a combination for some deep seated wounds. So let's explore this a little bit further so we can begin to heal from these wounds and move forward in love and light. Understanding the eldest daughter syndrome. Let's unpack what it means to carry what was never ours. When safety was unpredictable, we learned to earn it through responsibility. We earned it through developing the strong one complex. The strong one complex is a psychological dynamic in which we tend to adopt the role of responsibility, reliability, and the unwavering strength to show up for others. The shadow of this often shows up as a deep seated fear of being perceived as weak, the inability to navigate associated internal struggles, and emotional exhaustion. We begin to experience parentification, guilt, and overfunctioning as a result. So let's dive deeper. Parentification happens when the child is forced into an emotional or physical caregiving role before their mind or spirit is ready. It can look like a little girl cooking dinner while her mom works doubles, or a child comforting a parent through a heartbreak or an addiction, or always being the one who has to keep the peace while everyone else falls apart. Psychologically, the child's nervous system learns, I am only safe when I am useful. They start reading moods like weather reports, predicting tension before it hits. Instead of developing a sense of self, they develop a sense of responsibility. This becomes the origin of the strong Black woman complex, where safety, love, and worth all become tied to labor. And as adults, these same children struggle to receive help or rest without guilt because they never learn to rest. They learn readiness. Let's take a deep look into the emotional effects. Chronic guilt when doing nothing, anxiety when others are upset, even if it's not their fault, trouble trusting others to lead or protect them, feeling unseen unless they're giving or fixing, and a deep loneliness masked by competence. This last one here hits home for me because I was often made to feel that because I was competent enough to do it, then it meant it was easy for me to do, or I didn't need the extra help. Now take a deep breath and repeat this affirmation with me 3 times. I was never meant to be everyone's anchor while drowning myself. I was never meant to be everyone's anchor while drowning myself. I was never meant to be everyone's anchor while drowning myself. Now let these words rest on your heart and soul. Spiritually, parentification is an ancestral assignment that keeps repeating until someone remembers, wait a minute, this burden isn't mine. Many of us, especially Black first daughters, were born into families where survival required someone to step up, and that someone was us. But God is now calling us to return the role, to hand back what was never ours to hold, to break the pattern of believing that we must save everyone to be worthy of love. After years of carrying what wasn't mine, I had to learn something sacred. God never asked me to be the backbone of everyone else's story. He asked me to be faithful to my own. The human belief is if I don't hold it together, everything will fall apart. But the divine truth is if I keep holding it, God can't move. The weight was never meant to prove your strength, it was meant to show you the limits of it. So you finally surrender. Matthew 11:28 is a verse from the Bible that serves as a reminder where Jesus says, come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. That word rest doesn't just mean sleep, it means relief, release, renewal. God isn't saying stop caring, He's saying stop carrying what I've already covered. For Black first daughters, this reframe is radical because our lineage taught us that love is proven through labor, but the kingdom teaches that love is proven through trust. When you stop carrying what's not yours, you don't abandon your family. You invite them to grow through their own roots. You weren't born to be the savior of your bloodline. You were born to be the seed of its healing. There's a difference. Saving says, if I don't, no one else will. But healing says, I release it so God can. So remember, you were never meant to carry everyone to the promised land, only to walk in first so they see it was possible. Integration is the moment your mind understands what your spirit already knew. That healing doesn't end with awareness, it begins when you practice peace. From a psychological lens, integration means retraining your nervous system. When you stop overfunctioning, your body will panic at first because peace feels foreign to the hypervigilant. But every time you choose rest over rushing, you're teaching your inner child we're not in danger anymore. And that's how safety becomes embodied, not imagined. Spiritually, integration is the moment you stop striving and start trusting. God doesn't need your exhaustion to prove your devotion. He needs your obedience to rest. Rest isn't laziness, it's alignment. It says, I trust you enough to sit this down. And that's how faith becomes formed, not in fight, but in stillness. And healing is remembering that being still is still a move. So keep this truth with you. Being the eldest daughter is a gift because I get to let my future be as miraculous as God said it could be through being exactly who He has called me to be and no one else. It's not your job to save everyone, just the little girl on the inside of you, waiting for you to rest in the safety of the Most High God. If this episode spoke to your spirit today, I want you to remember something. It's not a weakness to sit things down, it's wisdom. The strength that kept you alive is not the same strength that you will need to live. You don't have to be the hero anymore. Take some time out to experience the abandonment wound meditation here on this channel. It's a guided release to help you breathe through what you've been holding and to help you anchor safety in your own body. You can also order your copy of the Skin Deep Healing Journal, a sacred space to write, release, and remember who you are. It's available exclusively through my website. Thank you for listening. Thank you for healing with me. And thank you for giving yourself permission to rest. Until next time, keep choosing you and keep releasing what was never yours to hold.